All right, welcome back. This is episode 6 of the Soul Laura podcast. The topic for tonight's episode is men's mental health. So, what better way to bring in this episode than having the men join me for the episode? First, I want to shout out Chino at the podcast house. Big shout out to Chino. Shout out to Melissa, my set designer, who got this all situated for us. It looks real nice, so get with her. Shout out to my sister who took on the role as my assistant, balancing being a wife, a mother, work, etc. And she still manages the time to help me through everything that I got going on. Shout out to my friend Shay. This is the first episode that she's not here with me, but she hasn't missed a beat. She's been my biggest supporter. So shout out to you, Shay. I have so much in store for y'all over the next couple months. We have new merch dropping, new content coming. So stay locked in with me and make sure y'all check out my online beauty shop at soullaurabeauty.shop. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel, Soul Laura Podcast. Follow me on IG and TikTok at Soul Laura with 4 A's at the end. Also, I have the Soul Laura Podcast on IG, on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook as well. So you can follow me on those pages. Just stay tuned. I have 3 men joining me for this episode. So let's get started and let's introduce them. So you guys can introduce yourselves and tell us something about yourselves. You want to start over here?
What's up, y'all? Mr. Company's Own Skin, no shirt Dom, from the Lehigh Valley. Guess the brand expands itself. Guy, just Company's Own Skin. Guess on a deeper version of it. Just person that it's okay with being indifferent. Really. Whether I have a shirt on or not. Just kind of person just has a mental part of it. Just kind of thinking, be comfy, like the world is different. So be who you are.
And he's a Birds fan, so go Birds. Those are the only people that will ever get a shout out without sponsoring me, okay?
My name is Jahai Keys. I'm a simple man. General contractor by trade. Do run a small general contracting company. Also drive a trash truck. Simple stuff, but I'm a working man. Simple.
We respect the working men.
That's good.
We respect the working men.
What's going on? My name is Tony Ortiz. I'm a self-employed content creator and marketer out here in the Lehigh Valley. Looking to speak out. First off, Laura, thanks so much for having us on the podcast. It's really awesome what you're doing, the reasoning behind why you're doing it. So glad to be a part of it. Speak out as, I'm just a professional managing mental health.
Absolutely. I respect it. And thank you guys for joining me. I think I picked the best 3 right now. So I'm really excited to get into this with you guys.
Thank you too. I'm sorry.
Of course. No, it's okay. It's okay. World Mental Health Day is October 10th. I'm not sure if anybody knows that, but I chose this topic because I feel it doesn't get spoken on about often. As I told you guys behind the scenes, November makes 7 years that I lost my brother to suicide. And although his story is different, I feel it definitely played a role with mental health, despite what others think or feel. It's a topic that really needs to be spoken on. So I wanted to give the men the platform to be able to let us into their world and talk about it. Like, it's not talked about enough. So that's really why I wanted to do this. This is going to be a series, so this isn't going to be the only episode. I have a few episodes lined up for you guys where we're going to cover the topic and get into it. Some of the topics I'm going to cover on this episode are why mental health in men often goes unspoken or untreated, common misconceptions about men's emotional expressions, the importance of creating a safe space for men to share. So right now we're going to talk about understanding masculinity and its impact on mental health. So one of my first questions for you guys, and it doesn't matter what order you guys answer it in, how do societal expectations of masculinity influence mental health?
You can take it first on the
I'll lead off. I mean, let's be honest. Men are only allowed to show emotion if the Birds lose, if our team, you know what I mean? If our best fighter or we lose a bet. It's not something where you just exercise expressing your emotions. That's not what men do, as we know in society. So men don't know an outlet. That's why you get so worked up over a game if you're not releasing or even thinking, even sitting with your emotions, I would just say men don't know how. It's not something that's taught. It's not looked at as I would think of masculine. We think of the mom, the mother, the nurturer. It's not what fathers do. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like maybe a little different. I feel maybe a little different because like I kind of teach my nephew like it's okay to cry a little bit. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's okay to be you are. And maybe because like I said earlier to you, maybe because I'm a Cancer. And, you know what I'm saying? It's my zodiac sign. Like
Emotional.
yeah, like I'm an emotional person where I kind of feel like it's okay to show emotions. Like I cry. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe I don't cry every single time, but like when I'm going through it and I feel like I'm down and out and I feel like I'm failing my kids, I'm definitely letting some tears out. My daughters will hit me like, "Daddy, you okay?" And I'll be like, sometimes I'll be like, "Daddy, just going through some things." Like I don't
Yeah.
never tell them I'm stressing because I don't want them to understand what stress feel like. You know what I'm saying? Like I want them to understand what life feel like. You know what I'm saying? Because stress is really a mental thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like, you know what I'm saying? It's some kind of put your mind into. Like it's a energy you put your mind into. Like
Yeah, like we
life
stress
is
ourselves
life.
out.
Stress
again?
is a response to the nervous system.
Mhm.
All right. So if we're gonna, get into the stress portion of it, I'll get back to your question. But stress is a
Yeah.
response to your nervous system. You take on stress when your nervous system goes into the fight or flight mode.
Mhm.
All right. So that's where your stress comes from. It's mental as well, but it's more so your nervous system. So
Yeah.
you learn to control your nervous system. And, I think of my nervous system as waves. If it's like
Yeah, yeah.
this,
Right.
that's where your stress comes in. You want to try to have it even waves. That's where you start to learn how to eliminate your stress. But it definitely starts in the mind first. The mind controls everything, all the functions of the body.
Yeah. And I feel like I do a great way of I do a good way because if I stress, I feel like I'm not doing great. If you're not doing something 1,000%, you're not doing something great, right?
I agree.
So, like I guess my stress reliever is going to the playroom with the girls. You know what I'm saying? Like when I am feeling down and out, I'm saying like I'm going to the playroom. Like so, I kind of use them not as a crutch, but as a way to.
That's an outlet for you.
Yeah,
Exactly.
escape. You gotta have
That's the
something,
word.
man.
Yeah.
That's great that you identified that. You know what it is that kind of calms you, that you have a balance with anything. But I wanted to let you wanted to answer that question.
Since the day we are born, as young boys being raised up, when I remember when I used to fall on the ground, and my pops would say, suck it up. Brush it off. So we're taught not to show emotions. All right. So that's how society trains us starting from a young age. And as we continue to grow older and older, the world puts things on our backs to where we're taught, again, as men, not to show emotions, keep it inside. It's like putting air in a balloon.
Mhm.
More and more air you put in that balloon, eventually it's gonna pop. That's where your stress comes from.
Yeah.
But ultimately we're taught not to show emotions. I've dealt with that growing up, and it took for me to become a lot more self-aware and go through things, learning how to find those outlets to express my emotions. I was one of those people, like if I got back in a room by myself, if I get deep into my emotion, I'm gonna cry by myself. I'm not gonna let nobody else see me do it.
Right.
But
That's
that's
fair.
that's good and it's bad. I've learned to separate myself from what society has taught me and find somebody that I can cry in front of. Right now at the point I'm at, I don't care who it is. If I feel like I got to get it out, I'm gonna get it out. It's better for me to release it right then and there than to hold it in and then
For sure.
crash out, as we talked about earlier.
What are some masculine stereotypes that hinder men from seeking help? Whoever wants to go
You're a
first.
man. That's it. I think
Yeah,
not
so
really that's it,
yeah.
but like Jahad said, like just supposed to cover everything up. Like you're masculine, right? Like I guess you inherit a masculine thing from your grandfather or from your great grandfather or from your dad. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't really have a choice in the matter. You might in your mind, you know what I'm saying? Maybe because that's how you want to feel, but society, I feel like, doesn't allow you to be unmasculine or
Mhm.
I mean, you don't
unmanly.
want to be called sassy,
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
as they call it.
for sure.
Uh, you don't want to be called sassy, so that's a stigma nowadays where men struggle with that, I guess.
Mhm.
Um, being masculine isn't being masculine is needed, it's necessary. All right. Not hiding, like I may gave the example of falling down and scraping your leg and they're telling you to, you better not cry. That's not the way to live.
Mhm.
That creates that's where your mental health starts to get scrambled at
Mhm.
initially. Being, like I said, being told to mask your emotions. Having emotions it's not gender specific. All right. So men should be able to cry. Men should be able to what's another feminine emotion? Well, I just said it's not gender specific that they consider to be feminine. Crying for the most part.
Mhm.
Express yourself. It's okay to cry. I tell all men. I tell my sons. I tell everybody. Real men cry.
Or just venting in
Or
general.
Complaining,
venting in
yeah,
general.
that's
Yeah, I mean
considered
complaining in
whining.
general. Not I don't even want to say complaining. It's expressing your emotions. Well, it's never complaining. If it makes you feel a certain way, then talk about it.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure. And I think people don't like, let's be honest, when I started getting into therapy, I didn't really know how. Like, I was lucky
Exactly.
enough to be at a job that had this thing called EAP where like you could try therapists out. And I wouldn't have known like to go and look up like if you don't know, how do you know who, like, what to even look up to say I need a therapist? When
Mhm.
we look on TV, we see the person laying in the chair. They're called the shrink. It's made fun of. The conversations they have on TV are not real conversations. They like make up what it is. So why would I go and seek that out? That's for crazy people. That's like, let's be honest, a lot of men's are not going to admit that they're crazy or they have an emotional problem or you know what I mean? Like you're here lashing out in public or you're above the age of 5th grade getting in fist fights with people. Like maybe there's something to address. Maybe like you don't have to be crazy going off the rails, bipolar.
Mhm.
Maybe you just need to talk to someone. And you can't really put that pressure on your family. A lot of people make the mistake of like your loved one is not your therapist. Like they're not trained in that. There's people that'll listen to you vent and keep those people. That's great to have. But if you're dealing with mental health, if you're dealing with depression, something that requires like a clinical,
Somebody that specializes in it.
yeah, like, people want to talk to Chat GPT.
I talked to
Like
him a
that.
lot recently.
Look, that's no
Me and
problem.
them
You
like
could
twins.
talk to it, you could vent to it, but it's not going to help you solve your
Problem.
problems if you don't have a human that like
Sure.
that studies the brain and knows stuff. Like I don't know, you just
But I feel like and I maybe it's just on a personal level because I've went through therapists and I went through people that are close to me as therapists, right? Like
Mhm.
not that everyone's gonna use it as a way to demeanor your character, but I feel like it's a way people will sit there and use it against you. You feel what I'm saying? Or use it to their advantage. You feel what I'm saying? And not to say everybody does that, but you have family and friends that do that, or therapists that do that, right? Or they'll sit there and be like, uh, "You're feeling this way because of this." Like maybe I'm not feeling
mm,
that way
And that's
because of
when you
this,
go find somebody that you can
yeah.
relate to.
right? And like I said, I've done that, right?
Mhm.
I found somebody that looked like me, and I use them when I need them. You know what I'm saying? When I feel like I'm those times where I'm down and out, like I'm truly down and out, where it's feel like I'm weeks and days, and
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Where I'm like, damn, like maybe I'm not on suicidal, but I know in my head that
You can feel it in
I
your
feel like I'm stressed, bro. Like to the point where it's like, not
Start
that I'm crying, and that's
isolating
what
and
made. And I was
snapping at
gonna
people.
say that earlier, but when I say crying tears, sometimes my bad. Sometimes it's not really like
physical tears. Nah.
not even just physical tears. Like it'll be physical tears, but it's not like I'm just.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's just like you can
The
see a
silent
couple
cry.
tears just
Yeah,
come
the
down, like
silent cry.
and they be like I said earlier, my kids be like, "What's wrong?" But to go back to what I was saying, you try to use people as a crutch, or you use your friends and family as a crutch. But again, sometimes people use it against you. So who do you
For
really
sure.
trust? You know what I'm saying? And not to go on a spiritual thing, but you just gotta sometimes just sit there and just think to yourself or look upstairs and be like, "Hey, how can I get through this situation?" You know what I'm
Number
saying?
one thing with
That's true.
therapy is I heard you bring up, confiding in family and friends.
Mhm.
All right. That's the number one place you, like you said, to keep those people around. But when you're really dealing with mental health, like
Yeah.
I said, you need to have somebody that specializes in it. So, like my therapist, like I said, I've been in therapy a little over 3 years now.
Mhm.
Just had a therapy
Mhm.
session this morning after not talking to my therapist for a couple months because
Right.
I chose to fall back from it and implement the things that she's taught me to see how I'm able to sustain and work my way through stress, family issues, all of that type of stuff to see if I'm strong enough. All right. So my therapist is my best friend. So she, in the beginning, she gave me a tool to use, and she explains the brain, your cat brain and your dog brain. All right. Your cat brain is more calm. It knows how to alleviate your stress. Your dog brain wants to please. So your dog brain is the one that wants to keep your family around and confide in your friends.
Mhm.
Your cat brain is the one that wants to reach out to somebody third party, somebody that really doesn't know you. That's
Right.
what you need when you're dealing with therapy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You have to have somebody that doesn't know you from a can of paint.
No bias.
So no biases. They can't judge you.
But I feel like it's hard to do that when you try to somebody a third party
hmm
and that somebody looks like us
Mhm.
and we try them and it doesn't work, then you sit back and try.
My therapist don't look like me.
But what I'm saying, then you go try somebody that don't look like you,
Mhm.
right? And they not working. And
You
then
can't-
and even try a female or
Mhm.
try a female that looks like us or a
Mhm.
female that don't look like us. You know what I'm saying? You try, and then people that mentally, I feel like go through things, it's like, who do you really trust? You know what I'm saying? Because they're not getting your message.
Mhm. I-
You
I
got
get-
you
I
gotta
see
be
it.
super selfish with your therapy,
Therapy,
man.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
I've gone on that EAP. I've met with a dude. I just kind of looked at him. I felt his energy and
Well,
I was like, "You ever have a panic attack?" He's like, "Let's make this about you, not about me." And
What's
I was
the
like,
EAP? I'm sorry. What's the EAP?
Just the
it was this
response.
thing that's your job. The EAP is I forget what the acronym stands
Oh,
for,
the
but your
Employment
job.
Assistance Program.
So you know what it
Okay,
is.
I know
then.
what you're
Got
talking
you.
about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think when you said a
You know
job,
more than me.
I thought it was on some like
No, they were
therapeutic, yeah.
like you could go and test out therapists. So
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, I have insurance. That's the main reason I got into therapy. I had a
Had
job with insurance. Like, so I
That's
feel for people that can't. But I had to go in. Dude tried to flip it back on me, and I'm just like, look, I can't. Like, I'm not saying you have to have had a panic attack as a
Mhm.
prerequisite, but you're not even showing me any empathy.
Mhm.
Like,
Right.
that's what I'm here for. You know what I mean? Like,
But
you-
is that what you really there for though? Or you
What do
really
you
there-
mean?
Like when do you really
to
want your
connect with someone, to feel like they're involved in my stuff? Absolutely.
but
To
then
not-
you trust a stranger, right? So why don't you just go to the neighbor, right? And just go to them because they live right next to you. So they can
Because
actually
it's
see
about
what's-
being, like they said,
'Cause-
about someone who
yeah.
specializes in
Yeah.
It's
mental
more-
health.
and they're
Specialist.
biased. They know you from
Mhm.
this. They don't like. There's things my best friend I grew up with that I don't confide in him with somebody I knew for 2-3 years because we're chatting every day on Facebook, and they know my ups, my downs. I just choose to share the ups with
Mhm.
this guy.
Mhm.
But you got like, if I don't want to make it about me, but I went through a journey to find my special people and like who I'm gonna keep with me. And
Mhm.
even if I shift insurances, I'll find a way to stay with them.
Mhm.
But you know how many medicines I've tried, you know how many different people I had to talk to, how much stuff didn't work. Like, you want to talk about quitting and I don't want to try another drug, like to know that they're going to put something on me that's going to literally change who I am. It's not this person that you're seeing in front of you right now, but that's part of my therapy because the alternative is I can't be a productive member of society or I'm a danger to myself or others. So it's like you have a responsibility to make therapy about you. They'll take your money.
Yeah, for
Always.
sure.
They'll
Always.
sit there and listen to you, come in every week, every 2 weeks, every month.
It's their
just
job, right?
complain.
That's their job.
You know,
Exactly.
I'm sure they got clients they want and clients they don't like. Now I don't want to say they don't like, but it's a business like anything else.
So
like,
who's to say? It's just. I'm glad you said that. But who's to say your therapist isn't basing your feelings and your emotions off of what somebody else in the past has dealt with, right? What if they're just like, hey, I think you're dealing with this because there's no
Mhm.
proven fact
Then
that
that's where it's up to you. So when me and my therapist have conversations, like I told her today, like I'll go do my own research.
Mhm.
I'll go research how I'm feeling. If I'm depressed, let me think of an example of something I was dealing with. I'm gonna just use anxiety. Why do I get anxiety when people detach from me? Or something in that sort. I'll go type it in Google. Google's your best friend. I'll do my own research first,
Mhm.
and then I'll get back to my therapist just to make sure that our conversation aligns.
Mhm.
All right. So try to use that as a tool.
but is Google really our best friend?
Yeah.
It's the internet, right?
Let's,
It's the internet. Somebody can put something on. Somebody works for Google,
you
right?
know how many links is on there?
How many researchers are correct on how you really feel about mental health or anxiety, right? That's the struggle we deal with. We rely on the internet, or we rely on
All right.
people without
So
relying on.
I see where you're going with it. So I'm gonna take it a different route with you. All right. So in addition to me doing therapy, you heard me earlier talk about, I'm into the spiritual aspect.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
going through my journey, I've experienced some things that have reshaped the way I see reality. All right. So now we're gonna take it down a spiritual path.
Okay.
Um, there's signs. All right. There's signs all around that's going to tell you if this is right for you or if it's not. So outside of your therapist, start paying attention to your signs.
It's signs.
If the universe going to tell you what's right for you.
Mhm.
That's
People
first and
you
That's a
should be
fact.
around,
But you
people you
always
shouldn't
question
be
yourself,
around.
right? That's the hard part.
I'll
about it,
never
right?
question the universe at this point in the
That's a
game.
fact.
Right.
I never question the signs. I've learned to pay attention to the signs, and it has kept me in a place of peace that has been unmatched. It's nothing I've ever experienced before.
It's funny you say that because when you say pay attention to signs, it's like I was out one night and I went to one of the bars down here, and I was like, a bunch of my friends left, but I said to my cousin, every time I don't go home when everybody leaves, something always happens. I didn't trust my son,
Mhm,
so I was like, I'm just gonna go to the next spot with them. I'm stranded,
mhm.
right? I'm going through some things. Well, I was going through some things, and I'm like, damn, like how I'm gonna get home. But if I would just trusted my sign, like you said,
Mhm.
and just went home, I'm right on the south side already. I didn't have to go all the way over to, and the spot was whack.
Mhm.
That was the worst part
Mhm.
about it. The spot was whack, so I should just really just trust the sign. And I'm gonna have to definitely doing that.
Trust the signs and trust, like I said, your nervous system is your radar.
For
Mm-hmm.
sure.
All right. So it all aligns, bro. We can get real deep into this. I mean, it'll be a whole episode just on that, but I'm gonna just give you the brief version. Your nervous system is your radar.
Mm.
All right. And there's a reason why they tell you to get grounded. All right. Everything around you is energy. When you get around certain people, you ever notice how you get that gut feeling where it makes you you
Mhm.
get a cringe in you, bro. You
Yeah.
know, like I said, your body and the
For sure.
universe is going to tell you what's right for you
Yeah.
and what's not.
That's a fact.
Mhm.
You got that
is
job
a
that you just get
fact.
sick going to, or that person at your job
Wow.
that you're like, man, I'm gonna walk a different route
Bro.
so I don't gotta run into them and stuff.
I've
Like,
cut people off
yep.
years that I've known them. And if my soul tell me it's time to part ways, I'm
Part
out of
ways.
here, bro. I
Word.
love you to death. But the path that I'm on, if I'm not in alignment with you, it's not meant for me no more. And I'd have to learn how to trust the process, as they say.
I have a question for you
Hmm.
because I heard you say like that you went 3 months without seeing your
Hmm.
therapist. You tried to go like do the things that she kind of taught you. What made you go back to her? Do you feel like it wasn't working?
Uh, I had some things that I experienced, some
Hmm.
things that I went through, relationship issues, some things from my past came back up. Um, and just to make sure and reconfirm that I did things the right way. So I not question myself, but when I approach things and deal with the situations, I'll use, for instance, I was in a relationship for 7 years. All right. So my ex that I was with, I'll explain to you, she was an alcoholic. Um, so we went through a lot of things. Like we went through a lot of things, family issues. That was part of the situation that started my
Mhm.
down spiral of me wanting to get more in tune with what
Mhm.
my mental health issues were. That's just a part of it. But she ended up coming back around. So I explained to my therapist today, like, she asked me, "Well, what's been going on?" I explained to her, me and her have been back in contact. I've been, being in contact with the kids. And I broke it down like at first I was apprehensive,
Hmm.
me
Mhm.
going through everything, no contact, all of that type of stuff. Like I really didn't want to be bothered with it. Like I went through a bad situation with that,
Mm.
So I just want, like I said, it made me go back to her. And me personally, I like my therapist. I like talking. You know what I mean, so I had to make sure, like I said, that I was doing things the right way, making sure that I could have done it better. Could I have done it better this way?
Hmm.
So that's the reason why I get back into it,
Stay on track.
to stay on
Stay
track.
back.
That's what
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, pretty
about.
much stay on track. I'm stronger. I'm a lot stronger than I used to be. But again, I still battle with mental health. I still have my bouts with my depression and my anxiety.
Hmm.
Um, it's very short lived now.
Mhm.
I don't dwell on things as like I used to. Like I genuinely wake up and go to sleep in a place of peace and happiness now.
For sure.
And that took me a long time to get to this point that I'm at now. A
Right.
conscious decision coming into 2025 where I told myself everything from my past that has affected me, I'm leaving it there.
Right.
Hmm.
All right. So once I made that decision, that's where the burden was let up off me. I'm cool now. But again,
Yeah.
like I said, I still got to make sure that I'm doing things the right way. My reassurance through my therapist, like I said, she's my best friend.
Right.
She's
I
not
like
gonna
that.
she ain't gonna give me no bad advice
Right.
because I trust her.
Sure,
She got your
trust
best
enough.
interest at
She
Yeah.
got
heart.
my best
For
interest at
sure.
heart. She knows literally everything
Everything
about me
going on. Yeah.
from day one all the way. We've gone back and deep into my childhood.
Right.
That's how well she knows me. So, I trust her to give me her best advice. And she trusts me to utilize the tools that she's given me, to make the best judgments, whether I take
Mhm.
all 3 months from talking to her or not. You know?
Yeah, I respect it. And then I had a question for you. I heard you say that you battle between becoming like a danger to yourself and other people. I know you said you're
Oh, for
married
sure.
10 years and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
How does that play? Because I'm not gonna lie, like as a person, like from my own standpoint, that would kind of scare me. Like being in a relationship with someone who doesn't really care, like whether in those moments, like
Mhm.
that's kind of scary. So how do you and your wife like balance that, like without like thinking like, okay, one day he could potentially go off the deep end and it could just be like he ends me in his life. You know what
No,
I'm saying? Like
there's
something like that. I'm not saying it to be like messed up,
no,
but it just makes
no,
you
it's
think.
fine. And I'm not laughing about it. I mean, the idea that first off, I'm not a danger to my wife or my family, and they know that their family would have had them out of there way beforehand.
Mm,
You know, arguments, yelling is one thing, but it's never got anywhere. You could look up my rap sheet. I've never attacked anyone. I'm not a violent person. You know what I mean? So nothing in my history says that I would do anything. Have I been in positions with alcohol? Have I done things I'm not proud of? Absolutely. I mean, we all put people in danger, texting and driving and stuff like that. But, I'm on record drinking and driving. So
mm,
I'm not going to sit here and say like I'm the safest person, but My wife and my family do have to deal with the darkest parts of me.
Hmm.
It's just what comes with it. And they know what they have to deal with. If I tell my wife I need to be gone for a day or two, and just, I wouldn't say two, that's pushing it. But, if I need to not be woken up in the morning, if I say, look, I'm going to be battling with insomnia, something like that. But no, the fear that somebody, yes, we see it in the news, but let's be honest, how many crazy people do you really see attacking people all the time? Like, we're not
It's more
dangerous.
internal battle.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like
That's a fact.
you're more likely to my uncle shot himself after finding out his ex-wife's lover. And we all say that he saved that. Like, if he knew he was violent, he chose to take himself out than hurt somebody else.
Mm.
I don't think people really want to hurt people.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still logical when I'm emotional. I'm
Mm.
aware of what's going on. Like you said, the self-awareness.
Self-awareness.
And like you said, the conversation with the therapist, I'm talking to, we'll call her C. I'm like, C, I woke up with high cortisol today. I feel my fight or flight. Like, we talk with terms out of the DSM-5. If you're coaching football and one kid is not running laps, not risk, and then the other kid is showing promise, doing extra stuff on laps, working on his diet, who are you going to spend more time on?
I ain't gonna lie. See, I was the different coach. I coached.
You coached the kid
I
that
coached
didn't
the
want to
80s.
coach?
I coached kids that were just going from flags to tackle. Like,
Okay.
I
Yeah.
had the perfect
Mm.
for me in my
That's the time.
mindset.
More impression.
It was really just the best part. My daughters are just learning how to cheerlead, so I feel like I was growing with them, but I'm growing on a football stance rather than cheerleader stance. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm teaching these kids how to like tackle on the kid that is struggling, I'm on that kid's side.
Well,
Because
that's
I
dope.
think because I was the person that was always struggling. You know what I'm saying? Like I was the slow one, but I was good at what I did. Like I was the best fighter, best tackler. I was the strongest on the legs. Like you know what I'm saying? Maybe I didn't bench the most, but I'm squatting 600 pounds. Like you know what I'm saying? 500-600 pounds in high school. But I'm not getting and I'm beating the kids that are better or sometimes more privileged. Like not to
Pretty
use
much.
that, you know what I'm saying? Not use that as an excuse, but I felt like I was better. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like there's kids that are better, you know what I'm saying, than the kids that have the God-given talent. This kid might be going through something at home where he didn't feel like bringing that practice today. You know what I'm saying? He probably never going to tell me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the mental things that he deal with before he get to practice or at school. Maybe the little kid got trouble in school and didn't want to tell his parents. So he thinking about that joint the whole time while he getting ready for practice. Now I'm yelling at him at practice to hurry up. But for me, I'm yelling at him because I see me inside of you. You know what I'm saying? Like I was that kid.
No, I take the same standpoint. I've coached and I've always believed we're as strong as our weakest member. But when it comes to your therapy and you being able to give good energy out to the world, you gotta take the bull by the horns. Like, you gotta demand the right energy, you gotta find the right therapist, and then you gotta put the work in too. Like,
For sure.
at the end of every therapy session is what have you, like, by the time you get to the next one, what have we accomplished towards whatever your goal is or something? And I'd be like, see, I meditated in my 20s. I can't anymore. Stop asking me. I'm just not going to do the meditation that I know I should. I pray. I do different forms of meditation. I train martial arts, but me sitting there in my own mind is not part of what I do anymore.
Right.
Maybe it'll be in 2026, but accountability, like, if I'm sitting there complaining about the same problem for 2 years, like I said, she'll take my money. It's not her job to do anything but be unbiased and hold a mirror up to myself and let me say, okay, I'm telling somebody this who's not going to judge me.
Exactly.
You know?
But why do we look at mental health as a bad thing, right? why do we kind of look like
Why do we look at it as a bad
as
thing?
meditating as when we're struggling or when somebody doesn't accept or when something's going wrong? Why don't we have this when we truly, as kids, as sponges, like 4 or 5 years old, where protect your, like Marshawn Lynch said, protect that mental, right? We don't do that. We don't learn about that until, well, we don't really speak on it until we adults.
I
right?
did with my kids. I agree with you.
But
Society
I'm saying
doesn't.
in society.
You
not
gotta
Yeah,
you.
remember,
society
Like
doesn't.
everybody's
you gotta
different.
remember it's a cycle. All right. So my parents learned later in the game about their mental health. They probably still don't know about how their mental health works. So
Facts.
it's passed down.
But when
Right.
does that? I'm sorry to cut you off. But when does that cycle break
When that's
in general?
it
Not
breaks
just for
when-
I guess for a man,
it
but
breaks
in
when
general.
the person makes the conscious decision that I don't want to be this way no more.
For sure.
I made that conscious decision. I don't want to be depressed no more. I don't want to have no anxiety. I don't want to have to sit there and overthink. I don't want to be isolated,
Mhm.
closed off from the world. I don't want to feel like I'm not able to express emotions. Like my mental health has affected my relationship with my kids, romantic relationships, family, friends. So I made a conscious decision that I don't want to be this person no more. All right. So if I don't want to be this person anymore, what is my issue?
So I guess my question to you would be: when did you use your mental health in a good way? Right? When did you say, excluding your relationship? When do you sit there and say, damn, I feel good about myself, right?
Every day when I wake up.
Yeah, but you don't do that. You do that, I guess, now because of situations you've been through. But before the situations you've been through, when do you sit there
I
like
never did because I didn't know how to.
nobody does, right? Nobody, it really does. Because mental health is not just, again, in men, but I feel like it's in the human being itself. You feel me? Like it's so
how
powerful.
can we
Suicide can happen to a man or a woman. The only thing that can commit suicide is our pets,
But
right?
how can we do something that we don't know how?
You gotta
Everybody-
see examples. You gotta go on podcasts. You gotta talk about it. Your kids gotta see you in therapy.
You gotta feel like you're not alone.
Not alone.
For facts. Like, you know what I mean? Laura provided us a safe space to be able to talk about this. There's gonna be people watching this that don't know us. There's gonna be people that
For
do
sure.
know us. Bro, for 15 years, I kept up a professional relationship. They're gonna be like, "Yo, Tony's bipolar." Facts, watch. I'm telling you, like,
That's a fact.
you know what I mean? That I'll
Like-
lean into it like my own Kanye West. But
Yeah.
it's like you gotta speak about it. I did a monologue I'm gonna put back out for Mental Health Day where I just tell my whole story in 10 minutes, how I came about learning to get into therapy. See, it's a little different. I speak on therapy because I think everybody could benefit, but I need to maintain proper mental health. My
Mhm.
condition gets worse as I get older. I can always hit it with logic, but you have that woman that could somebody check the name, the principal, Harrison Morton? I want to speak on her. So brave, came out as bipolar after the incident where everybody said she was on drugs. Facts. It was, I mean, anybody with mental health could look at that and say, all right, that's a break. That's a, you would have the terminology, Jahab, for what was going through. It was like in between a panic attack and just a mental break. But I've behaved like that in private. Principal Stephanie Williams, man, my heart goes out to you, sister.
For
Like,
sure.
you
Praise
gotta,
definitely.
and that's why I'm here on this podcast speaking out about it, because imagine a world where somebody says, oh, let's get her a cold compress. Somebody in that crowd's got an Ativan or something that could have said, all right, let's administer this. Like, if I pull my sleeves up, I have scars from being tackled because they call security. I've had panic attacks for 10, 15 years. You don't get...
had a panic attack.
Yeah.
I remember my first time, not to cut you off, I remember my first time having a panic attack. I've never had a panic attack in my life. So I know what you're talking about. Like, if people don't know how it looks or what it looks like, they definitely gonna misjudge it.
I can't tell you what a panic attack is. A panic attack is like I've heard of it. I guess seen it,
Imagine
but I can't tell you what it would look like or feel like for somebody to have a panic attack. And I work, and it's crazy. You know the crazy part about it? I don't even want to say the name of the place because I don't know if they're doing good or bad. But I worked at a facility where kids were from 4 years old, maybe even younger, to 18. And I had the pleasure of working in 12 to 18, like maybe a little 14 to 18. So I've experienced, I guess, kids not on a medicine, but that's on a medicine. So I guess I've never experienced a person not on medication to know what a panic attack
what did a
is.
panic attack feel like for you? Describe it.
I got you. So first and foremost, you'll get hyper aware of everything around you. If I was starting to have one now, I would hear the computer humming, I would hear the vent going, I would hear everything going on. And then from that hypersensitivity, I would feel everybody around me. So I'm an empath. I can feel energy in a different way. There's scientific backing. I'm super spiritual, but I know enough. Like you said, why do we read on the internet? You see enough of, okay, people feel like this. And especially if you're in a small percentage, you're like, okay, I can identify with that. So I would start to feel a tingle around my mouth and around my hands. And it would slowly start to come up. Somebody else would tell me I'm hyperventilating. I wouldn't notice it. Once I start hyperventilating, your body pulls all the oxygen to your vital organs. So your hands get numb and your mouth gets messed up. Now you could stop it at this point, and I'm going to come back to this. You can stop it at this point, but if it gets past that, you just have to let a wild wave of feelings of feeling everybody's fear around you. Picture 10 people scared and you feel that. And what's fucked up is you're logical. Like I could tell you I need a cold compress, but I can't speak. So I'll be looking at you like, and no matter how many times you see me do it, you won't think to get that compress because you're so scared because you don't know you don't know what I'm doing or what. And I've had them every day I've been in periods where I've had them every day of my life or multiple times a day. So I can have one and still be calm because it's going to sound messed up. In the world we live in with mental health, is better for me to suffer in silence than trigger society to call the cops on me or something. Because now I'm scared because you got a gun and and you don't know if I'm on drugs or it's not a situation I want to be in. So I go to therapy, I take my medicine, I exercise, like all the stuff they tell you to have a good, happy mental health. And you say we don't do it with kids, but we do stuff like religion. We tell kids to go to sleep and get 8 hours of sleep. We do instill stuff, but you get to like 16, 17, you start staying up late. The things you have to do to maintain a healthy mental is like, you can't be eating fast food, smoking, drinking, not sleeping at all, and then wondering why you're having panic attacks. That was me in my 20s. I wasn't honest with my therapist that I was drinking alcohol. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't serious when I wasn't taking my medicine at all. Give me some little tiny side effect. I go on Google and I'll be like, oh man, like, people's skin is falling off if they take this. And like, I got to stop taking this now all of a sudden, you know what I mean? Like, or I'm starting to itch. So it was like 10 years till I found out that I wasn't supposed to be on antidepressants. I was actually supposed to be on mood stabilizers. So here I am. The antidepressants make me too happy. They don't bring me from down here. It's funny how you go like this. That was what taught me. I was 30 something when I found out I was re-diagnosed with bipolar. They gave me it at 19, but they were throwing everybody was bipolar back then. Like they just.
But that's what I'm saying though. Like, I don't want to make this a racial thing, but everyone that looked like me had ADHD, right?
For
so
sure.
they trying to get everybody Ritalin. They trying to get everybody to calm
Facts.
down, right?
Yeah.
But me, I'm just who I am. What if my energy, what if my persona or who I was as a kid was building me to who I am now? You know what I'm saying? Where I'm a person who is comfy with who the heck I am, what the hell I am. You feel what I'm saying? And not to say in an arrogant way, but you're okay with being a teacher and listen and letting these kids do whatever they feel is the need to. And again, my prayers are out to that principal, sincere. But you let these kids stress you enough to have a mental breakdown in a park, right?
I don't feel like it was just. I don't feel like it was
not to say it's just that. I'm not saying it's just that.
Had nothing to do with the kids.
Not to say it was that. But what I'm saying though is, look how the kids used it to her advantage, to their advantage to. You know what I'm saying? Exploit or go viral, right?
What made me sad about the whole video with that is just
so sorry
seeing
for that,
all
man.
the adults in the background.
Just sat there
Nobody
and
just
watched.
moved.
You feel me?
It was literally just kids, and like
Mhm.
you see her going through this episode, and every adult was just staying back, minding their business, while the kids were like videotaping her. And that's just what made me sad about
That's
it.
the most saddest part about it.
Yeah.
Well, I watched that video the first time when it didn't go as viral as first. And I sat there and I'm like, I said to my girl, I said, bro, what the hell is them adults doing?
But again, how can people do something if they don't know what they're looking at?
It's not about that. You see somebody.
You don't know till you're in that moment, right? So it's just,
right.
yeah.
But you
And-
see
and-
somebody going through something, right? You see, if you seen a kid going through that,
Mhm.
you're not gonna go try to save that kid from going through what he's going through.
Yeah.
You're not gonna go, where's his parents at?
Yeah.
Right? Well, why didn't somebody say where's that kid, where's that mom's kids at, right? Or where's that her
Maybe.
aunt or her nephews or nieces at? Why didn't
Again,
nobody go search for that, right? Nobody did it because everybody's scared of, like you said, of what that person was going through. Really, like you said, it's a mental breakdown. That's the scariest part about it.
I think we live in a society where everything is we're gonna go viral.
That's it.
So that's really what that whole situation was about.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
really why
But that's-
nobody stood up.
I feel that's what
and-
every situation is about now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
that
that's the
it really
times
we're
we
not
live in.
we're not protecting each other or our mental health. Because
Dude, Kanye when
Apple, we not
when
paying you,
Kanye
but this
every
was
time
goes
Kanye
crazy.
went viral.
this will go crazy, right?
What?
I-
Oh
this
yeah,
this
yeah.
right
Recording
here.
people.
Mhm.
I just captured a moment that you'll never ever be able to say you didn't do this for. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Mental health, something we gotta sometimes as men be able to forget that happened. We can't forget that happened because this happened.
Why would you want to forget it happened?
Not that, but you want to overcome it. Even forget, not even
Yeah.
forget or forgive that happened.
You
Like,
can't overcome it if you forget it.
For sure, you can't, but society wants you to forget it, right? As a man. Because again, you're masculine.
Mhm.
You're supposed to cover that up, right? We're not really covering it up. We just putting a band-aid over it.
Mhm.
So it's still there.
Painting
right?
over mold.
But again, society won't allow us to be able to forget. We just gotta be able to forgive that the situation happened.
Mike.
Or keep small. I mean, that's why the circle gets smaller and smaller.
I'm glad you said that.
You know, like
you
you
start to eliminate.
But that's the problem. Once the circle starts getting smaller and smaller,
it's a lonely.
then you by
check it
yourself.
out.
Then
Check
once the
this out.
person-
I'm
That's
glad
when you can
said
really
that.
take accountability
That
and
is-
self-deflect and
Yeah.
like say to yourself like,
Exactly.
okay, because when people are around you and you have so many different opinions, you don't know what to think. But
Right.
when you're really like by yourself, like I'm one of those people, my misery doesn't like company. I like to be by myself when I'm miserable. One, because I don't want that to pour onto other people. But
That's
two,
fair,
I don't want
yeah.
your opinion
right.
about what's going on in my life. So like I'm one of those people when I'm going through things, I like to be by myself. I'll talk to myself. I'll get in the shower and talk to myself. And I just really just take accountability for things. I feel like outside noise is a distraction.
You mentioned you're empathetic too. I'm sorry
Go
to
ahead.
cut you off. Let you get back. You mentioned you're empathetic. I think just having that awareness of what energy you could give out to other
Mhm, for
people.
sure.
So kudos to you for being
Yeah.
For
self-aware.
sure.
My
one
bad,
of the
man.
hardest problems that men have is learning how to be alone. All right? Learning to enjoy your isolation. All right. So when you said when your circle gets down, it's just you. As you get older, bro, I'm
Yeah.
42, and like I said earlier, I know a lot of people. I got love for a lot of people. My homies are still my homies, but ultimately at this stage of my life, it's just me, bro.
Right.
I enjoy that.
And I-
That's where I got that's where I have most clarity at now.
Right.
So now I'm able to make better judgment and decisions now.
I agree with that.
Mhm.
I'm not saying that isolation is not good, but again, it goes back to what society says. Isolation isn't good because if you isolate yourself, that means you're not being open.
So
right? So once you're not being open, that means you're going crazy. And once you start again talking to yourself and you're in public talking to yourself,
Those
no
that are-
disrespect, but the lady that walks around Allentown,
Mhm.
Oh, Scary Sherry.
I was gonna say her
Oh,
name,
I love her.
but people probably see her as crazy. She might have mental health issues,
Mhm.
but
There's
she
actually a Facebook page on her. Where
Yeah,
no,
Scary
listen,
Sherry
we're gonna
is.
get
is,
Keep
it
up-
really is.
we're gonna
But-
get that shut down.
But she really is really releasing how she feel, and people call her crazy, right? Is she really crazy?
She been through a lot.
Nah, but she has. But she was in Bethlehem when I was younger, right? But what I'm saying is like, when is it okay for you to really be able to?
How much do you think the medicine costs for her to act normal, quote unquote? If she is, I don't know her diagnosis or whatever, but I know how much my medicine costs without insurance.
But you see what happens? Medicine makes you feel normal, right?
For
The
me,
therapist says, "Hey, this is what's gonna make you feel like you don't have mental health."
no,
problems.
I gotta stop you there because the medicine for me, remember this
Mhm.
here? I'll break bipolar down for you real simple. My roller coaster goes like this.
It's a
For
real
half
thing.
my life, my highs I felt
For sure.
were as high as the highest high you felt, and my lows were as low as lower, and that was normal for me to go like this.
For sure.
The medicine keeps it here. It's a mood stabilizer. It stops me from getting too happy. I feel less on medicine, yes. And trust me, I was against it forever. But the therapist did not tell me, okay, this is going to make you feel like you're not crazy, not mental health. I truly believe that we needed ADHD people. Like every mentality is necessity in human society.
Mhm.
If everybody was just complacent and chilling here where the food is, the food would have ran out. Some dude with ADHD said, "Yo, I wonder what's over there."
Right.
And we need, as a human, people to be dyslexic, to think differently around problems. And when you can become self-aware of how your brain works or
Mhm.
solves problems differently, you know how I think versus how a normal person would think. And that's a power for me. So it's not a matter of me fixing my mental health, dude. That's a huge source of my creativity.
Mhm.
Like I've accomplished a lot of stuff. When I say my resume, people are like, that's nuts.
Right.
But at the same time, I know if I get too excited, people don't talk about mania, going to the doctor if you're too happy. Everybody talks about depression. We brought it up a whole bunch of
Mhm.
times. But do you know that there's an opposite of depression where
For
you're
sure.
too happy
Mhm.
and that actually leads to more suicide than the depression
Mhm.
does?
Because they covered
You
they
feel
put
like
that
you're God.
They put that band-aid over it. Bro, I got a scar right here. Not to say that's a tough boy scar, but I can't really from playing football. Well, people ask me what happened. Bro, I got shot. Like, you know what I'm saying? I do it because I'm
That's what I
I'm
thought.
overly excited of having a war wound. You feel what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
I felt like I went through something.
Mhm.
I didn't go through somebody that got shot in they thing, but I felt like I did. You feel what I'm saying?
Mhm.
The enough stitches or enough whatever I had to do to put there was enough for me to feel what a gunshot wound would feel like. You know what I'm saying? Mentally. And that's, I think, again, I worked at a facility where these kids had to take medicine to quote unquote feel normal.
Yeah, I
Right?
hate it.
And I laugh because
A lot of them don't.
it's
really
hard
need
for
it.
me to really say that, really, because what is normalcy now, right? What is really okay to being normal? Like you said, the opposite of being depressed is very excited. You can be very, very depressed, right? And they see a person like me, overly excited, overly crazy because the birds won. Oh, this person is crazy. He has to be on some type of stuff,
Yeah.
right?
He's got to be on
Right?
something.
On
yeah.
what? On what? Drugs.
Yeah.
Regardless, bro. Regardless of if you're on a street drug and you're acting crazy, or you're on a medical drug where it's causing you to be, it's conditioning you to be where you want to be. It's still something that we don't take accountability, like you said, on who we are and accepting who you are. You know what I'm saying? that's where I think people say my brand is powerful, and I don't understand why it was powerful. But I think now having this conversation with you guys, I understand
That's
why it's so
dope.
powerful. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm comfortable with being that loud person, but I'm okay with being
You know
depressed
what
and
that
water
is?
eyed. And
You
you dig what I'm saying?
you have become self-aware.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. Self-awareness is key to everything. I mean, um, knowing who you are
hmm
is a major part of your journey.
For sure.
All right. So as long as you're self-aware, bro, it ain't nothing nobody can tell you about yourself.
Exactly. But that's and like I said, that's why I feel like it's your mental health that really plays a part of what it's the affirmations that I instill in my kids.
Mhm.
Or as a baby, bro, in they mama's belly, bro. You gonna be the most beautiful thing in the world,
Mhm.
bro. I
But
joke around, bro.
that's
I
not
joke
to
around when I
say,
say it, but I truly feel it. I got exotics. Like, you
Mhm.
feel what I'm saying? Like,
But that's not to say as they go through life, society isn't going to put things on them to make them question reality.
but do we use medicine to make
You
a
don't know.
society feel
Some people, honestly, like you said, he's a person that that he needs
you
it.
need
All
it
right.
for
I
sure?
have to. Yeah.
Our brains are, you got to understand how the
Triggered.
brains work. All right.
Mhm.
You could have a small damage to your brain that could alter the way you do things and
That's
the
a
way you
fact.
think. All right. So our brain is very powerful.
Mhm.
Sometimes we need the medicine.
Right.
Some people that I think is a small percentage of people that need medicine to control their emotions and their mental health. But majority of people really just need somebody to talk to.
For sure.
For sure.
Bro, that's right there the part.
You know what I mean?
People need somebody to speak to, bro. Like,
Mhm.
that's really the main thing. Like, not again, I know it's in men's mental health, but people and human beings
Mhm.
need people to talk to, bro. Like, I feel like even like the cosplay people, they put it on the show for people to be for them to be seen. And that's cool. I love it. Cause they
They
expressing
go
who they
hard.
are, right?
They go hard.
People say it's weird. People say them people that dress up like cats and act like cats is weird. Bruh, who care, right? The person that runs this country right now, there's a split decision on who likes him and who don't like him, right?
Mhm.
Who care? How is that affecting this right here? It's only affecting it because you allow, like you said, other people or society to affect this. I think, personally.
Have you ever felt pressure to conform to traditional masculine roles, and how did it affect you?
Men don't cry. So that's one of the main ones. Like I said, if I needed to cry, I would go back in a room by myself, and even then, it took a lot for me. Like I get more angry than shed a tear. Now, listen, I could
Whoever's
be
around.
whoever's around.
Yeah, right.
It don't
Mhm.
matter because I
Gotta be
know
ready for
that
it.
I need to. If I don't get it out, I don't want to be an angry person. I know how I am when I used to be angry.
Yeah,
You know,
I
so
respect it.
Mm-hmm.
What about yourself?
I wouldn't say pressured. Like I was an athlete. I did quote unquote alpha male shit, but the men that I looked up to were a different example of men. So
Mhm.
my idea of what it was to be I didn't have that grandfather cut wood, do this sort of thing. You know what I mean? I couldn't
Mhm.
start a general contracting business. So there was always that pressure of, oh, you got to know how to fix a car. I just kind of leaned towards computers, which isn't the most masculine thing. But, training martial arts, the baddest dude in the room, like, how they say the loudmouth is the one,
The
like,
weakest.
it's always like that. So being able to beat people up, that was never like, okay, that makes you a man, that sort of stuff. For me, it was like, okay, that dude's a good father. That dude respects his wife. That dude's not cheating on his wife. You know what I mean? Because you're going to run into people that are better than your spouse. Like you get married at 23, you're going to meet people in 15 years, smarter, prettier, whatever, more handsome. But like, that to me was what a man is. I don't know if that's what a society, what everybody thinks, like, especially coming up in the early 2000s, late 90s, you had to have as many bodies as possible. Like,
Mhm.
that's at the same time, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like the sleaziness we allowed it in the music and all that shit. But no, I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah. What about you?
Um, I think just kind of being like the handyman, like you gotta be able to fix everything, fix the
Mhm.
car, fix the doorknob, like somebody locked out in the bathroom, like you gotta be the one to fix it. Like you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like it just like I guess of being just a quote unquote
I
girl
feel like
dad.
they even do that in like lesbian relationships. I have a lot of lesbian friends, and
Yeah,
like the more masculine one, they
right.
always say like, "I'm still a female at the end of the day, so stop looking for me to fix the
Yeah.
toilet. Stop looking for me to do this
Facts.
because I'm still a woman at the end
Right.
of the day." So no, I totally get it. What signs do you think men often overlook or dismiss in themselves?
What signs? Hmm.
Like you said, going with your gut. Nervous system's a big
Yeah,
one.
like my nervous system is my biggest indicator on what's good for me and what's not. So, like I tell, if my nervous system gets like this, I'm backing up off of it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I believe that, and I know this to be true, is
Mhm.
it has to be smooth and constant.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not, then that's when my red alert antennas start going up and I start, analyzing everything. I start overthinking. I start getting either depressed, I get anxiety, all of those emotions that I don't like having. If it don't agree with me, whatever that stress there is, I'm removing it so I can maintain that place of peace.
I respect that. Anybody else
I
want to
like
chime
it.
in?
I don't know. I don't think I really have a really good answer for that one.
That's
Honestly.
okay. So, how can friends and family support men facing mental health challenges?
Tony, take that one. I'm gonna take that one.
They're not gonna
He
like
just threw
my
it to
answer.
you.
They're not gonna like my answer, man. I mean, if you're someone who could listen, who could truly close your ears and not give advice and tell somebody how to fix their problems, because that's not what you need to hear right now. You know what I mean? If you're like, man, the struggles of being a man are real, I need to do this, they'd be like, well,
Mhm.
Dom, you need to get a job right now. That's how
Mhm.
family will hit it. Like, if your family for somebody, just encourage a person to seek professional help. Like, I'm a big believer that there's doctors for a reason. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like, you can go to your grandmother to put vinegar on your socks if you have a broken ankle, but like also get some ibuprofen, like get an x-ray, you know what I mean? Like,
Go to the
That's a
doctor.
fact.
I'm all, that's what I'm for. So I mean, just encourage people to seek health. Don't stigmatize it. Like
Mhm.
if somebody says, "Hey, I'm going to see therapy," encourage them. Keep up with them. Hey, did you talk to your therapist?
Mhm.
Like make it matter like this person cares because everybody cares about mental health when it's on the bad end of it. You
That's
know
what
what
I
I
like I
mean?
said
Like
earlier. Exactly. Like it's important in general. Like you need good mental health. You need that stress, but you also need distress as well. Like it's you need the good to go with the bad. Because if you don't have the bad, you're never gonna learn
It's balance.
from exactly. Like you know what I'm saying? And you need that mindset, like you said, to keep that balance. You know what I'm saying? And accept it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think if people were able to do more often, it would be a lot more realistic.
People need to be family, friends, whoever. You brought the word up earlier, empathetic. All right. So if we have empathy, I can put myself in your shoes to understand how you feel. I can put myself in anybody's shoes and understand how they feel, or at least try to understand it.
Right.
All
Mhm.
right. So empathy is important.
For sure.
Being an empath, as Tony said, like that's a real thing. I can feel your energy. I can feel if something's wrong with you.
Mhm.
mhm.
Before you ain't even got to tell me.
Right.
You ever have
right,
a friend that just messages you at the right time, like, "Hey, you okay?"
Literally.
And then
Right.
it just is a breakdown moment for you.
Right.
Like, how
Mhm.
the hell did you know
No.
that I'm over here?
It's
Yeah.
almost
Going
like a
through
psychic
it.
power,
It's-
bro.
it's-
Like And
It's
that's
signs, like you said earlier. And I wanted to touch on that.
it's
If you feel that,
signs, it's energy. Like
Mhm.
I speak about energy a lot, spiritual energy most importantly. Like energy is a very real thing. Like the earth
It's
is
powerful.
powerful, bro. Like
yeah,
and like I said,
Facts.
I wouldn't if you'd asked me this 5 years ago, 6 years ago, like man, get out of here. That's
Yeah.
bullshit. But the things and experiences that I've been through over the last 5, 6 years, bro, it'll blow your mind to think the stories that I got now, which is why I believe in it so much.
That brings me to my next question is what advice would you give to men hesitant to seek help?
Ain't nothing but to do it.
Yeah. Go do it. That's the most important
You're
thing
not
to do.
doing
Bro,
yourself.
do it.
Be open. Like, be open for real. Like, truly be okay to let somebody hear your problems or hear the good
Be
things going on.
vulnerable. Yeah.
Mhm.
Let people
Vulnerable is
know.
the
Like, that's
key
the
word.
most important thing in the world. It's not about the money. It's not about spirit. It's not. It's really about being open to who you can be open to.
Mhm.
Like, if we can
Yeah.
open up to more people and people are okay with being open to being open to,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know
bro,
that you want to
that's
know
the
how,
key.
but before you can do that, you got to be open with yourself.
But that's what I'm saying. You got that person that's open with themselves
Mhm.
are truly have to be open to being open. Well, I don't know. It's a lot of openings, but
You gotta start. Yeah.
but you know what I'm saying? Like, I would have to be open with myself to allow Lord to be open with me.
Yeah, you do.
Even yourself. You feel what I'm saying?
I do.
And
I have to be open with myself because if I'm not open and honest with myself, I'm not going to allow nobody to come into my space
For
and
sure.
give me any kind of advice.
for
or
sure,
nothing.
bro.
So you must be open with yourself and say, I say, you know, I told me and my aunt talk about this, and I always say, like, I remember the time when I really had to walk in the bathroom and look myself in the mirror and say, yo, I'm a piece of shit.
Right.
As crazy as it
Facts.
sounds.
What?
Facts.
Dog.
Once I was able to do that, bro, it's ball game.
Mhm.
Now I'm out, I'm open and honest with myself, and now I can take constructive criticism.
For sure.
I can express my emotions, I can express my feelings to others and not take it personal.
Well, you know how many times I didn't like I think I pride myself on being not just a good influencer, a great influencer now, but a great father and a great dad, right?
Mhm.
And there's obviously a difference between a
Mhm.
great father and a great
Mhm.
dad, right? Father makes the kid, but a
Mhm.
dad really is the person that stays in the kid's life or
Mhm.
comes into somebody's life, right? And I say that because I mentally tell them, or I mentally tell myself, like, you got more work to do. My kids will tell me, Dad, you the greatest, right?
Mhm.
And I'll be like, thank you. But Daddy got a lot more work to do, baby girl. You know what I'm saying? And it's because I truly feel that way, because I'm open with knowing that I'm not done. You feel what I'm saying? My story is
It's
It's just
nowhere
getting
near
started.
done.
Mhm.
And that's
it,
okay.
it
It's
started
the
while I was
journey.
getting in trouble, but you know what I'm saying?
I
It's
still
really
got a lot
it's
more
getting
work to
published
do.
now.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Like I
Like,
said, I still struggle with my anxiety. I still struggle with not crashing out, bro.
boy,
Like real talk.
Me
Like
too.
that is man, listen.
I do that as an
I've been
influencer,
good
bro.
2025.
Like, you know how many videos I sit there and
That's
question?
good because you're almost through the year.
Yeah, facts,
I
facts.
just had a situation
Knock on wood.
last week with one of my daughter's mothers. Like, and it took everything in me not to revert back to how I used to operate with her.
For sure.
And she did
Mhm.
everything in her fucking power to try to get me to go off the deep end.
They find satisfaction in seeing you like
it's called
revert back to how you.
it's called reactive abuse.
Mhm.
Mhm.
All right. So, man, listen, you got to be like I said, it goes back to self-awareness, bro. As long as you're self-aware, can't nobody throw me off my rocket.
That's
Can't
a
nobody
fact,
throw
bro.
you off your rocket. As long as you pay attention to those signs and things that you know are going to make you go back to the person that you don't want to be. Mhm.
And I know I
Facts.
asked you guys how can friends and family support men facing, but what advice how can society better support men's mental health, like as a whole, the world,
Mm.
the universe, like how can we better support you guys with battling your mental health?
Tell us that it's okay. It's okay to not be okay.
Mhm.
Facts.
It's just that simple. Stop telling us that we have to be tough. Real men cry. Start putting those types of narratives out
I
there
love an
for more.
emotional man. I ain't gonna lie.
Bro, you know
I
the crazy
do.
part is like
Cry to me.
they
Tell me
say
what's wrong.
they say real like that label real men don't cry.
Mhm.
Some of the realest men go to a funeral, right?
Mhm.
You
You
think a
see
real
what the-
man's not crying? You think any human being's not crying when their loved one's going?
Mhm.
So you gonna tell me
Mhm.
every human being doesn't have those things? That's what I'm saying about being open. You know what I'm saying? But being comfortable who you are, being
Mhm.
comfortable in your own skin. Like, be okay with, yeah, I cry, bro. But I throw my gang signs up when I'm in the hood. You know what I'm saying? It's funny, but it's real too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta be okay with being a human being.
Mhm.
Not
Absolutely.
really just being a man or a female. It's being a human being, not being gangster or being a nerd. Being a human being, not even being an athlete. Just be a human being. And that's
Be
the best way
okay
about
with
it.
One of my-
understanding. My bad. Be okay with understanding your emotions, recognizing emotions, and understanding how to express your emotions in a healthy way.
For sure.
Facts.
For sure.
No, one of the favorite quotes that I heard recently this year is "It's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener at war."
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And if you really think about that, it's like we don't want to do away with all the masculine stuff. Like
Mhm.
a child psychologically needs like they need somebody to throw them around.
Yeah.
They need somebody to pick them up, not in a hugging way, but like by their feet and upside down. So we don't want to get rid of all the masculine energy, but like there's a time for at war. There's a time for when you're with your kids, when you're
Mhm.
being soft with your wife, when you're doing stuff. So what society can do is don't tell people that is because nobody wants you to be emotional without control, emotional for no reason,
That's a lack of
illogical.
emotional
Like,
intelligence.
yeah, if you have no emotional intelligence, we're not telling you just cry and whine and
Mhm.
post on Facebook.
Right.
Nobody will listen to me, so I'm going to post all these things on Facebook. Then dude, of the 1,000 people, you don't think 900 are like dudes looking for attention.
Mhm.
You don't think 4 years later you're not just going to be that dude that
Mhm.
so know the proper channels, you
Right.
know, have more people get into mental health and therapy. Every therapist that I've connected with really loves that stuff. They've been doing it for 20 years.
Mhm.
They put up their mental block. They help with people. You know what I mean? Like I've been with people that just got into it a year or two. There's nothing wrong with them either. But if I made it normal on TV, if like I'm not going to shout anybody out, but radio personalities have talked about live streaming their therapy session. Like,
Mhm.
it's going to take people who, oh, yo, dude's successful. Did you know that he struggles with this or
Mhm.
deals with all that sort of stuff? Or, yo, is it okay for Tony to speak out and be like, yo, he doesn't have things all under control all the time? Like,
Mhm.
very recently, I've dealt with stuff where I have to logically go through it. I'm like, okay, am I isolating because I'm starting down a down path? Have I just been around too many people? Have I had too much caffeine? What was my sleep like? I used to wear a watch for telling me how long I slept and if I napped. So I have data to go to my doctors with.
Yeah.
So if you don't track your sleep, you're not going to be able to take that to the professionals or do any of that. So like society can make mental health not just for men, but make it something that people want to strive for.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I'm not. I know you want to get probably next question with that, but there's two people that really stand out to me. As you were saying that when you said to people on a higher platform, there's two people that stand out to me, and it kind of like now I see it kind of inspired me to do what I'm doing on Sunday as a big awareness. I'm walking on Sunday for suicide prevention because it's a mental health thing.
Mhm.
But AJ Brown
Love
from
him. That's my
Philadelphia
guy.
Eagles, and people love him, but Lane Johnson's another one that dealt with mental health. Like them two people are on a high platform and they're open with it, and that's what we need. People like them, like, and shout out to them, shouts out to them because that's again what we need. People on that platform, on a higher platform, to let people know it's okay to not be okay.
We need people
Facts.
like that. I'm gonna let you get back to it. We need people like that on a higher platform, but we also need normal people like us.
That's a
They
fact.
can relate more to us than they can relate to
To
them.
them. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So 2 last things before I let y'all go. How has seeking help or talking about mental health changed your life?
I'm sorry.
I didn't say
Me,
nothing.
now me for what it did for me is it made me feel like I'm okay with not being okay. Like I'm okay with telling people I need help. Like it's important. You know what I'm saying? It's just important as brushing your teeth. You know what I'm saying? Or taking a
Mhm.
shower. Like your mental health should be just as important as your daily hygiene.
Mhm.
You feel what I'm saying? And people told me that. And that's what kind of really influenced me to let me know it's okay not to be okay.
I like that.
Facts.
It has allowed me to, I don't want to say I'm all the way there yet, 100%, but become the best
Mhm.
version of myself.
Sheesh.
You know, who I was last year, year before that, year before that.
Mhm.
It's
You
good to
can't,
see your progress, right?
you can't even get me to go back to that person. Like you can't even have a
Facts.
conversation with me about that with that guy.
Yeah.
You know, because the conversations I have with people now, they be like,
It's like a stranger
it's a
to you.
stranger now. You
Right.
got to get to know me again.
That's a
You
fact.
know?
I like that answer. What about you, Tony?
Facts. Say the question one more time.
How
I got
has-
lost. He
No, you're
killed that.
good.
He killed that.
Yeah, I know he did, right? How has seeking help or talking about mental health changed your life?
Oh, dude, it was the most freeing thing. It'd be about 3 or 4 years that I've been speaking about it and have it on the podcast. And I'm comfortable with myself. I don't care who knows what about me. More people think of it as a superpower than they think of it as a detriment. More people think, and that's kind of the world that we're trying to build and do. So I know that I'm not going to be a victim of suicide like my Uncle Charlie. I know that I'm going to live a full life. I'm going to inspire people. And the people that reached out to me and the ones that are going to reach out after seeing this, that makes it all worth it. You give a dozen or two men that are like, I don't even know who to ask. I can't ask on Facebook, how do I
Mhm.
see a therapist? But I could message you and we have long conversations. That aligns with my energy, with my spiritual, and even to know what I want out of life and to
That's a fact.
align. That's all from a mental health journey. Like I have the best relationship with my God. You don't understand. Like I don't question or fear anything. I walk through the valley of the shadow of death.
Death.
I'm
Mhm.
aware of the demons that my God gives me, and I'm aware of the cross that I have to carry.
Mhm.
So hell, we'll speak out on it as much as we want. Like,
Absolutely.
you know,
And one last thing. Lessons learned and advice for others that are going through it. Some people are scared to seek help. So what are any lessons learned or advice that you would give to them?
don't have expectations. Like have the expectations on yourself. When you have expectations for other people, you get yourself into trouble. Like I'm fully aware we don't live in a world that I can have a panic attack in public. I know if I'm about to have one, I need to skedaddle and Irish
Mhm.
goodbye from wherever I'm at. I don't have expectations on society for everyone to take 4 years to read the DSM-5 and be able to identify, oh, yep, that person's having a schizophrenic episode due to high cortisol. No, we don't need that. We just need to be responsible for our own mental health, be our own example. If I didn't say it, nobody would know
Mhm.
that I deal with what I deal with. That's all I got.
John?
Understand that we can't make people do and say the things that we want them to do. So, with that in mind, like Tony said, and it might sound selfish, but focus on yourself. Learn to be selfish with you and put yourself first. Learn to love yourself, and understand that it's okay to not be okay.
We call that being
Love
self-full.
There you go, so full.
But what
Alright.
about you? Any advice for somebody else going through it?
Yeah, just be having no shirt mentality.
I
Be
like that.
be comfortable in your own skin
There you
at
go.
all times, no
Facts.
matter
that.
what goes on. The message kind of like I said, having no shirt mentality is when you get up in the morning, don't care what kind of shirt you put on,
Mhm.
you know, and don't care what's going to impress people. Put that shirt on it because you feel comfortable wearing it. If I wear a shirt, it's because I really had to wear it, or because I really like wearing
I
a shirt, or I really rock
like
with the
it.
shirt. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not because I wanted to impress people, but really
Mhm.
because I really genuinely like it. So have that no shirt mentality. Really genuinely like yourself, but really genuinely like what you doing and what you are trying to accomplish in your life. Like have that no shirt mentality.
I love that. I had fun with you guys. I'm not gonna lie. I respect
Yeah.
everything you guys said. You guys literally gave me so much knowledge and like insight on like the man's mind and stuff like that. I feel like our viewers are gonna enjoy it. They're gonna love it.
I'm
So
sorry.
I think
I do have a question for you. What is your advice from a woman's perspective to a man?
I just feel like I wouldn't treat a man any different than I would my female friends. Like I would just be there for them. I'm a big empath, so like I like to listen. I would sit there and cry with a man if he needed to. Like you just gotta like take away the mentality like, oh, he's a man, he needs to like man up. No, like he's still a human being, regardless of the
Sure.
situation. So just being there. And I feel like I said, if someone would have just listened to my brother, maybe he would have been here still. So I'm really big on that. And yeah.
Now I just wanted to see you asked us a lot of questions. I felt like you didn't have
Oh, we
a
gonna
point
get
of
into
view.
the
So
females. We gonna get into the
you know,
women's
like you know,
mental health.
when you said from what your brother went through, like you had somebody that dealt with mental health problems. So seeing it from a female to a male's perspective
Yeah.
is totally different.
When
What
I
we gotta
talk
go
on
through.
when we do the females episode, you guys will learn about me
I
and
can't wait to see that.
my
I'm curious
battles
to
fine.
see
with
that
mental
one.
health and
That's
stuff like that. Because
fine.
I've been there. I've been depressed. I've been diagnosed with panic disorders, all that. So it's just a really big topic for
I
me, and
can't
I
wait to
just
see
wanted to
that
bring
for real.
awareness to it.
Mhm.
Yeah. But again, I thank you guys so
For
much.
sure. Can we
I
shout our
appreciate you
socials
guys.
out,
Thank
or
you.
Huh?
can we shout our socials out, or?
Oh yeah, so we're gonna at the
Oh,
when we
got you.
view this, every time you guys talk, your social media will be at the bottom of
Oh,
there.
fire!
But you could
All right.
definitely shout them out as well. Make sure you guys stay tuned in. This is just the first episode of Men's Mental Health. I have a few other episodes coming. This is a whole series. Ladies, we'll get into you guys next. Big shout out to Chino here at the podcast house. Thank you for everything.
Hey.
I'm not a
Make sure
gang.
you follow me on social media, all my streaming platforms. Soul Lore with 4 A's. Don't get
4
tricked,
A's.
okay? Because you know they're making fake social media pages. So yeah. Thank you guys again.
That's what y'all
And
do. That's what the ladies
clock
do.
it.
Oh, my
Yeah.
bad. Wrong one.
So thank you guys again. And I
Appreciate
would
you for
love to
having
have you
me.
guys join me again.
Nah,
Definitely.
what?
Cool.
Thank you for
Facts.
having us, bro. That
Thank
shit
you.
was fun. I love it. Thank you guys for opening my mind up to different things.
Yeah,
and
we'll keep the
what was
conversation
going. This is
going, man.
dope.
We're all connected, you know.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Keep it going.
definitely.
Maybe we
This
we
is-
can maybe do like a nonprofit or do something that we can kind of get, or do a spot where we can kind of just get men to open up to.
This is
Absolutely.
That would be
This is
dope.
the start.
This is what I'm
about to
saying,
say,
bro.
This is the start of it. I'm always open to supporting the fellas, bro. All right.
You want to shout out your social media?
Yeah, you can follow me everywhere at T.O. the Designer. It's spelled like To the Designer. My initials T.O. And if anybody wants to DM me on Instagram, message me on Facebook, I'm open to have this conversation. You want to know about what I've went through, how I can help. I take time out of any day because
I love that.
nobody wants to read about something later and think that, man, that person was trying to get a hold of me or whatever. But
And where can they find you?
Jihad Keys, Facebook. You can just type it in. I got a couple pages. You'll see me in there with the beanie hat on, my jean jacket with the fur around the collar. But that's my main page. Also, like Tony said, my inbox is always open. You know, I've had conversations with a couple fellas, you know, and try to give them advice. But I'm open to speaking to any man who feels like they're alone or they don't have anybody to talk to. So don't hesitate, man.
Absolutely. And no shirt, Dom. I mean, you gotta know, right?
I don't know if you don't know by now, then you know now, right? Yeah, No Shirt Dom on all social media platforms. I'm sorry, I'm lacking on YouTube a little bit, but again, I'm on all social media platforms. No Shirt Dom. Just like they said, truly open. Be mindful. I do have a family. So if I don't get you right then and there, call me if it's that important. You
He
feel
took
like you
forever
want-
to get back to me for the
Yeah.
episode. So
Chill. 'Cause I got kids, man.
No, I
But
get
not
it.
for real. Like again, like if you need anything, like and it's an emergency, like just like they said, hit me up to blow me up. Is that important? I want to be that person or be that vessel. Somebody, Eric the host said it the other day. He wants to be a vessel.
Shout
I
out to
want to
Eric
be
the
the
host.
vessel to being comfortable in your own skin.
Absolutely.
And if that takes you, call me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, shit. If you knock on my door, just for real, like, and it's all honesty, just I'm open. And obviously, I don't want to start and stuff, but for real, just be open with me, and I'm open because I'm open with myself. And it took this podcast today to really understand how open with myself to be open to people, or
I love it.
to open up to people.
I love it.
Fire.
So make sure y'all stay tuned. I got episode 2 of Men's Mental Health coming soon. And it's a wrap.
Appreciate ya.
Hey.
That was fire, Laura.